Hi Form 5, so here's a video to help you with line graphs. Line graphs are really useful ways of presenting data that shows us change over time, and the example I'm going to show you is all about temperature change over time. So the first thing you'll need to do whenever you look at any graph is work out what it's showing you. Normally it would have a title, but this one doesn't. So let's have a look at the x-axis and the y-axis and try to work out what this graph is showing. So on the x-axis, it's showing us time in hours. And notice we're using the 24-hour clock here. And then on the y-axis, it's showing us the temperature in degrees Celsius. So this graph will show us the change in temperature over time. And we can see that it's over 1 day because it goes from 0 to 24. Okay, now the question. What is the temperature at 3 o'clock? And that's 3 a.m., which will be down here. Now, you will need a ruler to read these graphs precisely and accurately. I'll try to show you in the best way I can on the screen. So if it's asking me what is the temperature, I'm going to go to the time, I'm going to go to the x-axis and find 3 and go up from 3. So let's try to show you that here. Okay, so I've gone up from 3 until I've met the actual line of the graph. Now I'm going to go across to the y-axis, and now I can take the ruler away. It's not perfectly accurate, but this will still help. So what is the temperature at 3? I'm going to go up and across to the left and see what number this would represent. And because it's not on a labelled line, I have to use my knowledge of what comes between -2, -2, and -4, and that is -3 degrees Celsius. The next question. How much does the temperature rise between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock? So keywords in the question. How much temperature rise, and then between these times. So we're going to be looking at a window here, between here and here. And we're looking at the change. It might say how much does the temperature rise, how much does it fall, but we're looking at finding the difference here, so we'll be doing subtraction. So first, let's find out what the temperature is at 6 o'clock. And again, you can use your ruler, but I'm going to do this more quickly. So from 6 o'clock, it is here. So it's 6. The temperature is -4. And at 9, let's have a look again. Going up from 9, like this, to here. And with your ruler, go across to the left onto the y-axis. And that is 1 degree. Okay, now the question said how much did the temperature rise? So I've got to work out the difference here. Okay, and we've done this, we did this last week, but you can count up to 0 if you want to. And I added 4, and then to 1, added 1. So the temperature rose 5 degrees Celsius. Okay, next question. When is a temperature of 14 degrees C recorded? So my key word here is when. So my answer is going to be a time. And then I'm looking for the temperature of 14. So this time I'm going to have to kind of go backwards. I'm going to start with the temperature and look for the time. And I'll show you again with the ruler here. So when is the temperature of 14 degrees recorded? So let's go across from 14 and then go down from the point where I just met the line graph. Okay, let's get rid of the ruler. Okay, so now I can see I've gone across to the right from 14 degrees and gone down to find the time. And I can easily see now the time is 1500 or 3 o'clock. Next question. How much does the temperature fall between 1800, that's 6 o'clock, and 2100, that's 9 o'clock? Okay, so again, how much temperature fall between these times? This time we're looking between here and here. So let's find the temperature at 1800 and at 21 again. So let's use the ruler, find the temperature at 18, which is here, and across to here. Okay, so it's 10 degrees Celsius. And now repeating the same thing. So from 21 up until I meet the graph, and then across. Okay, so that one is 4. And it wanted to know how much did the temperature fall between those times. So it started at 10 degrees and fell to 4. So how much did it fall? Is 10 subtract 4, which is 6 degrees Celsius. And the last question we'll look at together. Estimate 2 times when the temperature is 6 degrees Celsius. Key words in the question. Estimate. It means try to be, it's not drawing for me. It means try to be as accurate as possible. Okay, but it is likely that it will be quite difficult to be spot on. So we'll try our best. 2 times, that's a key, when the temperature is 6 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this time I'm going to go across from 6 degrees Celsius and see what kind of crosses my path. So let's try it. I'm going to just draw a line across from 6 degrees Celsius. Okay, hopefully you can see that. And yes, it does cross the line twice at 2 points, here and here. So let's see what times that would be by going down with the ruler and see if I can get this as accurate as possible. Okay, and this one's a bit further than halfway actually. It's about 2/3 of the way between these times. Okay, now let's see. Put the ruler away. So the first one is, I would say, I know my line doesn't show it perfectly, but I'd say it's halfway between 9 and 12 o'clock. So halfway between those 2 times, this is where you need your knowledge of time. The gap between here is 3 hours. So halfway would be 1.5 hours. So 9 o'clock plus an hour and a half is actually 10:30. So let me rub that out. I would say one of the times that the temperature is 6 degrees Celsius is 10:30 in the morning. It's 10:30. Now the other time, like I said, I think it's crossing that line, is about 2/3 of the way between 18 and 21. Or if we say it in our time, it's 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. And if it's 2/3 of the way between those, this one would be 7 and this one would be 8. So I think it's actually crossing at about 8 p.m. So that's what my answer would be. But I have to write it in 24-hour time. So it would be, there we go. So I've shown you some different types of question there. But I hope you noticed what I was doing each time, which is pulling out the key words in the question and thinking about what maths it's asking me to do. Is it asking me to find the difference most likely you'll have a question like that if it's saying, how much did the temperature rise or fall? Or was it asking me to estimate? Was it asking me to look for temperature or time? So you need to really read the question carefully, find the keywords, and then think, okay, what maths is it asking me to do here? And then, like we did last week with problem solving, follow the same steps of checking and going back, because that's how you'll find if you made any mistakes. So the task today is, again, to choose your level A, B or C and answer the questions in your book. Some of them want you to draw a line graph, so you'll have to do that in your maths book and try to be as accurate as you can be. When you've finished writing the answers down and you've checked everything, mark with your green pen and upload your work to Seesaw. There will be a chance in the afternoon for you to pop in to my live Zoom class and ask any questions that you still have. So try to do it before the class in the afternoon. But that's everything. If you get stuck, you can always watch this video again or go back to a certain point, and you know that you can ask Miss Payne and I if you need anything.